Hey, bros. Nah, we're just kidding. Welcome back to the WorshipCast. I'm Franklin.
And I'm Matt. I've said bro enough for one lifetime. And today we are going to talk about dealing with mistakes and fear in a worship setting.
Welcome back to the WorshipCast. We're going to be talking about the fears and the mistakes that one makes during playing.
Who? Not me.
You're perfect.
Yeah. I need everybody to understand that.
Every single note, I hit exactly on time every time.
We'll get into that. Yeah, that's one thing you need to understand as not even a worship musician, but as a musician, you're gonna mess up. Mm-hmm. It's gonna happen. Even the pros mess up a lot.
They do.
There's a clip that we'll get Live Studio Lucas to put here for you of it's Corey Asbury. They're doing Reckless Love, and their guitarist.
Oh yeah,
you seen it?
I have to.
Yeah, check it out. Get ready. Here it comes.
Before I spoke a word, you were singing over me. That was nice.
He just straight turned around and kind of yelled at the guy.
Yeah,
he looked at him
like
yeah. You done? And there's healthy ways to deal with someone on your team that makes a mistake, and there's unhealthy ways, which is generally how we have dealt with it over the years.
Oh yeah, even though it's not my fault. Looking at you, we're our worship pastor.
Yeah. We find that if you make fun of the person enough, that they will strive to never make another mistake as long as they live. I don't suggest that as the method because it can have some really detrimental effects otherwise, but
first day or first time playing with this band, our church band.
We didn't know Franklin.
Yeah. I have a piano solo. Did not know the song. It's called Steel. I heard it like twice. And yeah, I did not know the part.
Yeah, we just did an episode on practice. He's learned a lot since then.
Yes. And, but
yet to this day, anytime we start that song, the whole band turns and goes,
oh, has he got it? Does he got it? I'm like, okay, I got this, I think.
But as much fun as it is, we want to take a serious look at it because you're going to mess up. It's just going to happen. And you need to know how to deal with it. And also, sometimes as a newer musician, how to deal with some stage fright issues and how do you look at that properly? Because, your mindset doesn't need to be necessarily on the fact that, like, I'm on stage in front of people like that. It's not, So let's talk about that since we threw you under the bus right out of the gate. On intros for songs where you're the only musician playing, right? You've got to bring it in, and you forget the part.
Yes.
What happens? Franklin, tell us what happens when
your palms get sweaty. Your arms get heavy.
Knees weak.
It really does happen that way, though. You're like, oh, crap, okay. And then you just kind of look around like, I don't know what's happening. I don't know. And you just kind of go with it until you...
You fake it till you make it.
You fake it till you make it, and...
I have to say Mom Spaghetti to finish the meme from earlier, but anyway. Here's kind of what we've taken to doing. And this comes into knowing your band members and stuff. It's kind of funny. To this day, we've been on a lot of gigs together. I carry extra cables that Franklin may need in my bag, and vice versa. He's got stuff with him sometimes to bail me out. So a lot of times, and this isn't because of this issue. Well, it's not an issue really, but I'm just running over him. This isn't because of this, but a lot of times I will also learn the piano intros and parts and stuff on the guitar too, just because I love playing so much. I want to know all the parts. so that like at that Christmas show.
Oh, yeah.
When he gives me that blank stare, like that look of panic, I could bail him out.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot.
And he does the same for me, too. You know, there's times where, my guitar has not worked, or I forgot to turn my volume knob up. That's going to happen to you, too, where Franklin's jumped in and covered that space. And, I would say, to continue from the practice episode that we did a couple weeks back, maybe learn more than just your part.
Yeah. It's okay to double. Occasionally it's okay to double. It's just like, okay, crap. I remember I can hear this part. I don't know my part, but it's okay.
And you're gonna blank sometimes. We are not we're not machines. There's a lot of human nature that goes into it. So that's one that I've struggled with from time to time too. Is missed parts. I forget how a lick goes and try to play it just based off of pure blind muscle memory and mess it up. That happened recently when we were doing Good Father. I had this thing worked out and just
blanked out.
Just blanked, and it happens. But the important aspects of that are, number one, don't let that get to you, because one mistake can ruin your playing for the rest of the set. Next thing you know, you're not worshiping anymore.
Yep.
You're not helping engage the congregation in worship. You're just concentrated on, I messed up. And that can be like an ego bruiser, and it shouldn't be,
Yep. Yeah.
That and don't stop.
No.
Playing. Don't quit.
Never stop. That's the biggest thing. As a musician, push through until you can make it. Again, fake it till you make it.
Yeah. Absolutely. But again, that kind of stuff, it's going to happen. Missed lyrics.
Oh, yeah.
Is a big one.
Missed lyrics.
Well, yeah.
Sometimes, it was kind of a missed lyric, but the Christmas one again, go back to the Christmas one. I added a Z in front of the O.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why'd you do that?
I was trying to add an O instead of, so it came out with Zo.
So we were doing Oh Holy Night, which to this day we still call Zo Holy Night, because it's just how it come out. And again, I'm not suggesting that you just berate people until
I can handle it.
It's a story, but things happen. And missed lyrics is a big one. I have missed entire sections of words. My biggest problem being, like, if I start a verse, if I can't remember the first 3 words of the verse, I can't remember the whole verse. It's almost like my brain takes it in sections. And that happens. I mean, here's a clip of somebody doing God of Angel Armies, and you just check it out.
Forever, he unites and brilliant all. The arms of angels, they're standing side.
So, I don't know if you noticed what happened there. He messed the lyrics up, but he didn't quit, man. He just hung in there.
He really did.
Yeah, he definitely didn't stop. But you know what? We laugh, and it's funny, and it is something that you should be able to just laugh off. It's not that big a deal. Yeah. But the bravery, man, that guy just kept rolling, and that, to me, I have so much respect for that. I know he messed up, but that dude is awesome. Also, his hair.
Yeah.
Can we get that guy on the show? If you're watching this, call me.
Come on.
Yeah, let's chat, because you're my hero. Honestly, not joking, seriously. But yeah, it happens, and we're not perfect. Sometimes I find, I'll be playing a lead line in a song and singing at the same time, and your brain's doing a lot of things.
Yes. Sometimes it gets tangled up. You're like,
yeah.
You just, hey, one time, I'll let you know. This is the first time Matt's ever heard the story.
I'm excited.
But one time, during my campus band days, we had it was like a concert, or it was like they get chapel credit, so it was the big thing. It was like,
okay.
listen to music and worship.
So it was mandatory.
No, not even mandatory.
Really? Oh, okay. All right.
I was like, oh, okay. We get chapel credit, and we just come listen to music and worship. I was like, okay. So I had the good idea of writing my own set list, and well, I missed one of the songs, and so
No, you know.
And so we get done playing one song. It was probably like fifth or sixth song in. I started the song, so it was called Manifesto. I was like, okay, yeah, let's do this. Da, 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 da. I was like, and then like they were like, everybody was trying to get in, but the tempo was so different because the thing is that we were supposed to go into Beautiful Things by Gunger, and yeah, that was my fault.
Yeah.
Yes, I didn't know the song. Oh, I knew the song, but I didn't. Yeah, I played the wrong song.
Did you stop?
We had to stop.
Okay,
yes, we had to. That was the first. That was the only time we've ever had to. That I've ever had to stop because it was. Everybody looked at me and they were like, "Yeah, we're this is the song." And the guy said it. He was like, "Yeah, we're supposed to do Beautiful Things," and I was like, "Oh crap!" And just went playing. It's a memorable moment, but again, hey.
Those will stick with you too.
Those will stick with you. Yes.
I mean, here's the other thing. We said don't stop. If you all have to stop as a band,
yeah,
then it's sometimes it's better to just do that. As long as one person doesn't stop and just look at their shoes, everybody else keeps playing. If you're to stop as a band, sometimes that happens. Again, it's live music.
Yeah.
As long as you're not using a click. If you're using a click and the whole band has to stop, then it's oh my gosh.
Yeah, we weren't using a click, so it was the wrong click. Yeah, that's the thing. We were on a click, and yeah, it was wrong tempo. That was the biggest thing. So they couldn't slow it down. It was hard. So, but you learn, and you never make your own set list. You never write your own set list. So. This is a story from my childhood. I started singing in church at a young age. And as kids tend to do, I didn't just kind of sang whatever words I wanted to. It's one of those misheard lyrics things. Yeah.
The hymn, He's Still Working on Me, there's a line that says how loving and patient He must be. I used to say how loving and impatient He must be. And it's funny because instead of realizing that was the wrong word, I remember thinking to myself as a kid, it's so funny that lyric is impatient. Because that doesn't seem like it describes God. Yeah. So it's even an extra layer of realizing that the lyric was stupid, but not that I was wrong. But yeah, all stories and stuff aside, you're going to stumble. Mm-hmm. You're going to have mistakes. It's going to happen. You're going to forget an intro. You're going to mess up a lyric. You're going to mix some stuff together. Mm-hmm. Again, if you let it bother you, you may have an ego to begin with. Mm-hmm. That can be a way of God saying, "Hey, check yourself a little bit." Mm-hmm. So you need to be able to push through these moments with grace and understand that nobody's expecting you to be a machine all the time. Mm-hmm. It's just part of it. Yeah. So let's talk about stage fright, because that's kind of a big one. A lot of times people, I've seen this more in youth than I have in anything else. If you've got a youth band or something at your church, mm-hmm. that it's hard to get people to get up and sing because they're afraid of being in front of people. Mm-hmm. How do you combat that? Where's the answer to that? Because that's a real fear.
It really is. I remember playing as a youth. The biggest thing is you have your peers there. So, sure, even speaking, youth to even adulthood, you have your peers there, and you want to, in a sense, impress, but so you try so hard, but then you mess up, and so you're like, crap, oh man, but
And I would say that's already in the wrong.
That's already in the wrong
place. Yeah.
Exactly. Yes. And but that's the whole mindset. It's just like, oh, I don't want to sing, and then you sing more quietly, and it's just like, then you mess up the lyrics, and then they really notice rather than you just being confident and you just like you own it.
Yeah, it snowballs. One mistake turns into a bunch if you let that bother you.
Yeah.
And I would challenge that, that we want to do our best. You want to to practice and to play and to sing your absolute best unto a God that deserves it. But that can turn into impressing people real quick, and there's a fine line there. You want to be able to do your best so that it is beautiful, but you can't care what the people think about you personally, and so that's kind of where I've had to break it down for people on occasion, is just say, look, yes, you're going to be in front of people, but you're not singing to them, you're singing with them. Yep. The only difference between being on the stage and being in the audience is that you may have a microphone in front of your face. And every great singer, worship singer I've heard, my wife included, because she's the best one I know, will tell you that in their best moments singing, the crowd's not there, the band's not there, that it feels more like a conversation with God. And when that happens, you forget the room.
Yep, you forget the room.
You
get the people. It's just you and God. Your worship is there. And sure, sometimes you make mistakes, but does God care about the mistakes as long as you're truly worshiping? Sometimes it happens. It's okay.
Yeah, if your mistake comes from a good place, it's still better than it is still better than the almost perfect guitarist with an ego. It's better than standing up there with a sin. There's not a pretty way to put that. Right. So for those of you that have stage fright, that are in front of large crowds of people or whatever, try to keep in mind who you're doing it for and what you're doing it for. The people in the room looking at you, if you do mess up, I promise you, the general public, or your congregations, first off, they might not even know you messed up.
Exactly. Yep.
But second, they're not going to come up and judge you on it and tell you, those kind of things. And if you're up there waiting for someone to come tell you did good or bad, you're in a bad place there too, because it's not about what they thought about you.
Exactly. Yep. Yep. It's okay. I will say this: it's okay to have a little bit of nerves before. I every Sunday. And that's okay. But again, it all goes back to your part in and out. It happens even if you know your part in and out, but it's okay to have nerves.
Yeah, there's a big difference between that like crippling stage fright that I've seen a lot of people get and nerves. Sometimes nerves like that I feel like I get them because a lot of times, and I'm not tooting my own horn when I say this, I really not, but I'm not a very nervous person. I've never had trouble being in front of people or speaking in front of people. It's just not something that bugged me. Thank God for that. But a lot of times any of the nerves that I get are because I feel like I'm feeling the weight of what I'm about to do. So it's not necessarily that there's going to be it's nothing to do with the fact there's a bunch of people there. Or there's not going to be a bunch of people there. Either way, it's not about do I know my parts? How well can I do this? Sometimes it's about the weight of knowing that we're about to go and try to worship, and I want to do my best for that. And that's a good kind of nerves.
That's a good kind of nerves, yeah.
So as a musician, don't stop playing. Don't let things get to you and snowball out of control. Remember who you're playing for while you're playing. That's the most important part of the whole thing.
Yep. It's okay.
And if you miss a part, and the rest of us make fun of you for it,
It's okay. I'll continue to grow thicker skin. And,
Oh no, they get me for some things too. I can't think of one off the top of my head though. That sounds really bad, like I'm an egomaniac, but that's not the case. I'm gonna tell a story on Eric.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Our worship pastor at our church. Hopefully he's watching this. I'm sure we'll tag him in it. We were playing. It was in Union, wasn't it?
It was in Union.
Yeah, it was. It was on a stage, and we started. I can think of the intro, but I can't think of the name of the song. Da 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 da.
Your love goes on. And
No, that's Hillsong.
That's your song.
Oh my gosh.
I can't remember. Your love never fails.
No.
Dang it.
We'll get there in a second. This is what happens when you get old, just to let you know. We talked about, another episode, forgetting intros and stuff. I can't think of how it goes. Forever Rain.
Forever Rain.
Run
There
into
it
your
goes.
arms. Yeah. We play it in C.
Yeah.
That means no capo. Or like, G capo 9. I don't know. Something, somewhere in there. If I'm wrong, shoot me in the comments. And so we start the song. In the previous song, Eric had a capo on his guitar. Mm-hmm. I think this is how it went. Either way, he ended up with a capo on it.
Yeah, we had the previous song was a capo.
Yeah, and it didn't need to be there.
No.
And so he kept thinking, something sounds weird. And because of some of the things we talked about earlier, he kept looking at Franklin like...
Well, number one, that was like my first outing again, too. I was like...
What is this guy doing?
What is this keyboard player doing? And it kept looking at me, or kept thinking it while we sing it.
Yeah, Franklin's just getting the stink eye from nowhere. Like, I don't know if I like this. If he's still here, but yeah, he looked down and noticed the capo on his guitar and was like,
"Yeah, not even my fault."
And Eric's been playing guitar for longer than I've been alive, so. We say this: you're never too good to mess up. Mm-hmm. And when you do, you handle it with grace, and you move on and you learn from the mistake. Eric's learned to check his capo more often now.
Yes,
I'm sure, as well as other things like how to berate me for this episode on the next coming Sunday. He gets on to me for doing this on the episode, but it's itchy, so.
I wouldn't know. I don't know.
So you guys, again, I know we kind of goofed off some of this episode, had some funny clips, but it's important to keep yourself in check to a place where the mistakes and the nerves are not hindrances, but instead they're learning experiences to push you closer to being able to worship naturally. Yep, through everything you do. Mm-hmm. All right. So you guys like, comment, subscribe, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Please leave us some comments. If you have a funny worship experience where you did something interesting, something weird happened, you missed a lyric, maybe a lyric you thought was something else. Like if you thought that one song where everybody says unforeseen actually said sloppy wet, like if you had that lyric messed up in your head, tell us. Leave a comment. Let's talk. We'd love to share some more stories because there's plenty. Thank you guys for watching, and we will catch you next time.